Hey everybody, Doug Pfeiffer from Life and Purpose Behavioral Health and host of the Resilient Purpose podcast. And I wanted to come to you today to talk about just the power of our brain in being able to change, and that our brain changes to our very last breath. And I have a story that happened. I went to the beach, and it's just kind of amazing what I was able to see in my middle child, one of my girls. We went to the ocean, and it's really the ocean. It was in North Carolina, Outer Banks, and we went out to the ocean, and the waves are pretty heavy. They're pretty busy, and they can come in and swallow you up if you're not careful, and end up swallowing all that salt water, and that's gross if you've ever had any salt water. So certainly my kids had that in their mind, that, oh my gosh, what's going to happen if I get out there? And there was some decent riptide and things like that certainly had the kids' fears going on overdrive. And so we'd been in the ocean before. She had been in the ocean before, but she still kind of wanted the comfort of my hand and holding the hand and going out there and just letting her know that she is safe, even though I believed that she'd go out there and manage those waters. At that time, she couldn't believe in herself. So we spent the first day just in the ocean together, but holding our hands. And in fact, if I let go of her hand, that's when her anxiety got really bad, and she started kind of whimpering and like, Dad, grab my hand, don't let go. And so certainly in that first day, not a whole lot of independence, and certainly was anxiety driven in that moment. But each day she became more and more familiar with the ocean. We went out farther. Maybe there were moments where we weren't holding hands, and so she was out in the water at certain times where she didn't have maybe the complete security of me holding onto her. And then by I want to say the second or third day into the ocean, we got the boogie boards out, and she just started boogie boarding, taking the boogie board and riding the wave in a little bit, and learning how to navigate those waves with the boogie board. And it was just fantastic to see, to the point where I was sitting on the beach while she was out in the ocean doing the boogie boarding, and she was doing it all by myself. It was just an amazing thing to see the progress of day one, having to hold my hand and freaking out if I wasn't holding her hand, to completely independent with a boogie board out in the ocean all by herself. Now, she always enjoyed having me out there and stuff like that, but she didn't need me out there. And so I always equate this, that oftentimes the way we believe or think about ourselves is actually not always accurate in terms of what we can do and what we can accomplish. So helping people understand that the more and more your brain gets familiar with an activity or a challenge or a task, the better you're going to be at it. So just because you are facing something and maybe you're not completely successful, or maybe you didn't do your best, doesn't mean that you won't get better. It just requires doing things and facing those challenges and stretching your brain a little bit to do that, taking those moments to challenge yourself in a way that's going to help your brain grow. That's one of the key components of neuroplasticity, your brain's ability to change. So I'm hoping this story encourages people that you can go out and challenge yourself and try things that maybe seem a little overwhelming or a little stressful for that, because that's what's going to help us get better. That's what's going to help us get healthy. Much like therapy and all the activities we engage in for mental health wellness, we have to stress our brain in some way to get better. And so I encourage everybody this week and next week to do something that challenges them, whether that's socially, whether that's athletically, whether that's musically, but do something that challenges you, that gets you outside of your comfort zone, because that's what's going to help you get better. So I am encouraging everybody to take those opportunities to do that, and would love to hear stories in our social media pages about times where maybe you engaged in something that challenged you.